Hello, welcome, and I'm going to ask you how you are because I'm about to tell you how I am. Um, this should have been another video that I was doing last week, actually, where I was going to talk about some of the great games I've been playing. I've been playing some Bisque Room, which is absolutely fantastic. Gave Hammerting a try, which is a game I wouldn't usually look at, but gave it a go and found it to be really, really fun. I even played some more Chime. I love that game. That was a really good game. Picked up some Don't Die, Mr. Robot. And played a bit more Tetris 99 because I play that every single week. I wanted to talk about all those games and how they've lifted me. They've lifted me into a new mood. But I haven't been able to do that. Well, I could still do that, but other things have happened recently, and they've not been great. And it's really got to me as a quote-unquote gamer. You may have heard Cyberpunk 77 is being delayed by 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a lot of time, that. And people have gone wrong about it, is the only thing I can say. I can't think of another word. I don't want to use the word crazy or insane because that's belittling of what those words actually mean. So I'm not using those. It's just wrong, the reaction there's been to these. And as a gamer, oh God, I wish we had another term. I really do. I wish we had another term. A games enthusiast? I don't want to be a fan because that'll make me a fanatic. But anyway, as a gamer, I don't care that a game's been delayed. Because we've got so many to play. So I don't understand why people are acting in a way whereby it's as though their firstborn has been taken away from them. And it's a slight on their family, their good name. I don't get it. Death threats being aimed at developers, not anger at the publishers, not anger that release dates were initially announced anyway that they quite possibly knew they would never be able to keep to, but they're aiming their hatred in a way at the developers. The people who are toiling hard to make this game for them. The people that are now going to get none of the celebration of no matter how good this game is. None of these individuals are going to be named and be given a well done by the wider gaming public. The publishers will, CD Projekt Red will, and the big names will get the praise or whatever comes from it. But what you do know will happen is if this game doesn't meet expectations, then we'll discover who actually made it and it's their fault. And bloody hell, if we discover there was women working there, it's highly unlikely because it's Poland at the moment, but if there was someone who was LGBTQ+, boy, you better imagine, there's going to be some abuse aimed at them then. And I don't get it over a video game. It's just a video. I love video games. They've got me through some very tough times. But at the end of the day, it is just a video game, and there's no other way around that. No other way around that at all. I'm not going to say I could name any of the actual individual developers at CD Projekt Red. I probably couldn't have many of the AAA companies. But at the same time, I don't heap lavish praise on the publisher. I will publish the game and I will talk about the creators as a whole because I think it's too long a list to be going individual names all the time. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can name individual people every single time you want to call out. I could praise Steve at QA and Joan, who done this much done X programming at this time of development. You can't reasonably do that. So I'm not saying that's what people need to do. Shout out to Steve and Joan though, if you actually work in games. You can't do it. But we've got to remember there are human beings who are making these games. and many pressures will cause them to have to delay a game. I think gone are the days now where a publisher be that confident that they'll tattoo a release date right there on their arm. It was a clever marketing gimmick that worked once. It worked once for Peter Moore. I don't think it's something that should be done and then go, look, I'm that confident that this is now set in stone, because it sets these expectations up. It sets up these developers for a fail. The guys at the top, they can say this. They can go, hey, this game is coming out in September, and they can get all the praise, all the marketing behind it, all the positive attention, free marketing. And then when they delay that game, they're still getting free marketing, free advertising as people get angry and they talk about it. The developers, the individual developers, when they found out who they are, they get the abuse. They get the personal abuse on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever it is. They get the death threats coming in. No one's sending death threats to the whole of CD Projekt Red. Now, don't get me wrong, people might be pissed off at CD Projekt Red, but that's as far as it goes. The death threats get aimed at the individuals. And be sure, we'll search out the minorities and the women and so on within those companies. We won't go for the CEOs as a whole. There's a reason people like Bobby Kotick and Randy Pitchford, when they continue to get more and more money, and we get developers are getting thrown under the bus time and time again. And it's just not on. It just doesn't work. It's not sustainable anymore. And it needs to change. It really does need to change. And I know I'm repeating myself here and I'm tripping over myself, but I'm trying to find the right words to do this. I don't want this just to be a AAA is bad, indies are great. But it's very hard to not do that now, because you've got AAA titles, regardless of what they are. There's so much crappy practice. Whether it is crunch, lying about crunch, whether it's physical and mental abuse, sexual abuse, just some really poor ethics somewhere in that chain, that you can't make a distinguishing judgment on any particular game. Now, I took the personal decision that I'm not going to touch a Ubisoft game at the moment. Not until such a time there's a complete restructure from top to bottom, from Yves Guillemot right the way down, to make sure that the developers are better protected. And that has to happen for me. That has to happen. But I was interested in Watch Dogs Legion. I'll let it go, to the point where I don't even care if I pick it up secondhand, and try and do some mental gymnastics as to how I can get the game without directly giving money to Ubisoft. I feel for the developers. I feel for the people who have poured their blood, sweat and tears into that game. But I think it's a wider issue. I'm not going to say that I'm right in my decision. If you want to go out and buy Watch Dogs Legions, if you want to buy Assassin's Creed Valhalla, then go for it. And I'm not saying I'm a hypocrite, because I know some of the shitty practice that's behind Cyberpunk 2077. And I need to make that decision now of, do I want that game? Do I want to report on that game? Do I want to play that game? And the answer is I don't know yet. Until that game comes out, I don't know. I think crunch is shitty. But I don't know if CD Projekt Red are as inherently evil as companies like Ubisoft, and Activision at the top level. I don't know if there's inherently evil as those companies, but they're going there, they're heading there. Whereas, I say, we look at other games, we look at we'll use Disc Room as an example again, and that's been published by Devolver Digital. And again, I'm not going to say that every Devolver Digital game is absolutely wonderful, but they give every game a chance. There doesn't seem to be a pressure on these indie devs. I look back at an old Humble bundle. Since I got my PC again, I went through all my old Humble stuff. And I went back, I think it was 2016. It might even have been earlier. And I got a demo. And I think it's a demo. It doesn't say demo on it. But a DRM-free version of Discroom to download and play. Now, it's not quite the game it is now, but it's there. So that's been in development for a long time. And that's been, I don't know how long Devolver have had an interest in the game or how long they've been like the publishing arm of it, but it's a game that's been in development for a long time. And it's been allowed the time to breathe. And Devolver Digital are really good. And I want to see more of these mid-tier and indie publishers really come into the fore now. I think Curve Digital are really good. No More Robots are really good. They're producing some games, and Mike, the main guy behind No More Robots, he's very active on Twitter in the community. And what I like about him, he's very personal with regards to it. He doesn't toe any lines as such. He will speak his mind, rightly or wrongly. I don't always agree with what he says, but again, we're seeing these more personal touches, but they're giving these games time to develop. They're giving their developers time. They're actually make sure the developers are the star of the show when it's not the game. I mean, at the end of the day, the game should be the star of the show, but he's allowing himself, even though he's a voice, he allows these developers to be treated with the respect and get the adulation they deserve. And it's good to see. It's really good to see. But yeah, this whole abuse of people at CD Projekt Red because of a game's been delayed 3 weeks. No, that doesn't sit easy with me. That really does not sit easy with me. It's not needed. It's not deserved. We've got shiny new consoles coming. I think it's actually a really good thing to delay the game a little bit, because I think releasing it when they was aiming to release it right on top of a new console launch, it's fighting, as much as it's a massive, massive game, it's fighting with people's funds and it's fighting with attention with a lot of other release window games. And it's still release window, but I think to delay that by a few weeks and give it the holiday period, right up until Christmas, I think that's a good thing. And there's a lot of people at the moment who have a lot of time at home, especially in the UK. I don't think lockdown, we're entering lockdown on the 5th of November of 2020, due to end on the 2nd of December 2020. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that's going to go on longer. So we're going to have this time at home. And if you're angry because you've pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077, and you want it because you're going to be at home, you're going to get that time. You are going to get that time. And if they are making it better, crunch or no crunch, then that can only be better for you because you're going to get a better game out of it rather than something that is maybe they've found some bugs. Maybe there's something they're not quite happy with, even though it's gone gold. Maybe it's just extra polishing. Maybe it's all just marketing bollocks. Whatever it is, it's not going to affect the game, I think, negatively in terms of what you get as an end product. Because if it's in such a state that it needs to be delayed because it's not finished, then an extra 3 weeks isn't going to make a difference. It's going to be a terrible game. If it's a terrible game, I don't think it is. I think it is going to be a very, very good game. I think it's going to be spectacular, personally. I don't think it can ever hit the hype levels or match the expectations, that everyone will put on it, but I don't think any game can. I don't think, for example, like Tetris Effect, I don't think that hit the expectations I put on it. Absolutely fantastic game, and I will love that to the day I die, that I get to experience that game. But internally, the expectation levels I put on that were way beyond what I think the game could manage. I think that's going to be the same with Cyberpunk 2077. I don't think the expectation levels can be met. So, again, does the 3 weeks make a difference? Do the previous delays make a difference negatively? I don't think so. Look, at the start of this video, I said I don't know what to call myself because of the negative connotations with the name gamer. But I would love to be able to refer to myself as a gamer and not have to kind of explain away that I'm not that type of gamer. It's the same as when I go where people from me go, I'm from England, but trust me, I'm not like that. I'm quite liberal. I'm very left wing. I don't read the Scum or the Mail. I don't read those. I don't. It's the same with gamer. I have to almost feel I have to explain my existence as a gamer. So I want a different word, but I don't want that. I want gamer to mean something positive, because when you look at sort of Gaming the Mind, when you look at Guardian's Mental Health, and you look at Safe in Our World and what they do around the gaming scene, and I won't mention ourselves, Nick, because I've not got a massive ego. But if you look at what they do around the gaming scene and the positiveness they bring, when you say the word gamer, that is what you should be thinking of, not Gamergate or abuse aimed at women, or those people of colour in our game that does contain 30 odd white males in it aside from this one person, so we're going to get angry. That's not what I want to see. What I want to see is gamers have the positive mentions. When people go, "Oh, you're a gamer, that's cool," not, "Oh, you're a gamer, oh right, okay, you're one of those." That's not how it should be, and it disappoints me. Believe it or not, I did start this video where I went clear focus in my mind. This was going to be short, concise, and to the point. But hey, I've got ADHD. But if you do take anything away from this week, one, don't get angry at a video game delay. Show respect to your fellow humans who are making this game. Two, play Disc Room. Absolutely fantastic, wonderful game. It's new, and it takes a simple idea and it's brilliant. You can check out a video there that links to my review of it. And three, go back and play Chime. That's a brilliant game by Zoe Mode. And they, initial release of that, I think, gave a ton of their profits to charity. So that was a good thing. I remember those days when there was good things happening with games and they got a lot of praise and attention. But yeah, go back and play Chime. That's a really good game. But yeah, if you like the video, please do like and subscribe, and do comment below on what you think of this whole mess with Cyberpunk 2077. Follow us on Twitter. You can get us on Discord. And all the usual places. And until next time, thank you very much. Stay safe.